Hi guys, welcome back to me, Shifa Alimaduzaro. Now, I want to talk about communicating in business. So, let's start it. Communicating in business. So, first of all, let's talk about communication. What the definition of communication? So, the definition of communication is the process of exchanging a message or information from one person to another person so that the message in question can be understood. Written and spoken communication in business. Whether you communicate in writing or orally, it depends on the circumstances and the reason, and to some extent, a person or people that you are addressing. So, the main reason for communicate in orally are first, to have discuss. When you have some issues to discuss with the people, you must do it orally. That can be easy to you to deliver your message to other people. Two, we have to receive instant feedback from your audiences. Speaking to someone means that you don't have to wait for their response. So maybe the meaningful is like when you communicate in orally, it's be easy to you to react the feedback from the audiences that what you are talking, and you can see what the feedback they give to you, so you can instantly react the feedback from them. So that means when you give some opinion or something to deliver to your audience, it can be you can see their feedback to you. This is usually happen when you have face-to-face communicating and orally, and you can see what they giving feedback to you, what they are think about your communication or what about your gesture, and they will give the feedback for you, and you can be like more think about what will you do when your audience is like some like sleepy, or maybe they are kidding around with their friend or something like that, and you can be more responsive about something like that, and you can change the atmosphere as more fun and enjoyable, or maybe that something they like, you can change that. Next, we have for speed. Maybe when you don't have the time and you in hurry, it's be usable when you are communicating in orally, because when you don't have time and you in hurry, you don't need to write some letter or some memo. You can just communicate in orally. That be easier for you, and you can save time to your agenda and your some activity. Yeah, I think that's my opinion. Don't make them to wait. Next, we have if the person with whom you are communicating has initiated the conversation. So when someone talk to you, you need to reply orally. But that's different when your answer is more complex. You can use the like in writing like a bar chart, like something like that. You can use in written communication. I think yes. So next we talk about the main reason for communicating in writing are first we have to retain a permanent record. A conversation can be forgotten, but in writing is it used long term, and when you have some important project that it will be good for you if you do it written, and when you do it communicating orally it can be loose or it can be gone and you can do it perfectly. Next we have to provide a basis for discussion. Before we talk about that, discussion is good when we do orally, communicating orally. But in here, before you do it orally, it be good. You do have the plan for what you want to say, and this is written, and you can be more easier to you to talk with your audiences, more planner and more easier to you. Next, we have to clarify a complex subject. Some subjects do not lend themselves easily to spoken communicating. A graph or bar chart, for example, may be a better way of presenting figures as you will see in chapter 3, and it's easier to explain a confused situation in writing than orally. So it's sometimes you must to do in communicating writing, not orally. Some subjects that do not spoken easily. Next, we have to send the same message to a number of people. So if you want to give a number of people the same information, perhaps the date and the venue of meeting or the venue of maybe some event, and some maybe you want to invite some people that you want to invite in 100% or maybe more in your wedding. You can use in email or letter or something like that. It's more be easier and cheaper for you to do it, and it's good for you. Yes, thank you. Next, we have to be able to think carefully about what you want to say. It's same with to provide a basis for discussion, that it will be used for like something like memo before you want to talk about something you want to deliver to your audience. It's good for you to take some memo or a letter, like what you want to double check what you want to say, and it's not make some mistake for you. In here we have two differences about written and spoken in English. As you can see, when you spoken in English, you have to use more words than we need. But when you have to written, you use more on the point what you want to say to your audiences, or what you want to say to what you want to deliver to your audiences. So, can you see the differences between the two versions? Spoken English use unnecessary words and phrases. When we speak, we generally use more words than we need to. Even when speaking, we should always try to be as concise as possible. But it is inevitable unless we have gone to extreme in planning what we want to say. that we will introduce unnecessary and generally meaningless phrases such as "I must say," which has nothing to the sense of the report. Oh, by the way, which means much the same as "I forgot to mention." Really? Which is too vague to add anything to the word it goes with. What is the difference between a good meeting and a really good one? Okay guys, thank you. That's all from me. When I have some mistake, please forgive me. Bye. See you on the next video.